Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm sure you might have heard that getting a job in Europe or in Sweden is difficult. Yes, it is true, it is difficult because there is a huge demand but there is not enough supply. I got a job after applying for at various positions, multiple organizations. I gave almost 10 interviews and so I work as a legal specialist. So through this video, I want to share 5 such platforms where you can find jobs, and also I will share you a few tips that help me to get my job, and I'm sure that these tips will help you to get closer to your dream job. The very first platform I want to discuss about is LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is very useful platform. It helped me a lot. So there are 3 different ways that LinkedIn can help you. First, it gives you access to the job opportunities. Second, you can see the recruiter's profile. Suppose my interview is taken by Emma Watson, I hope so, hypothetical situation. So I can go to her profile, I can see her educational background, I can see her work experience. So if she has worked in logistics, so in my interview I will try to use the logistic terms a lot, more and more, so that the recruiter thinks that I am relatable, we can talk on the same ground. I think that's the most important. When you are interviewing, you should look relatable to the positions, to the organization, and also to the recruiter. And the third is getting access to the organization's LinkedIn profile. You, before going for the interview, you must and you should go through the organization recent activity. Like when I was interviewing for H&M, so I went through the H&M's LinkedIn profile. There I saw H&M is doing a lot in sustainability aspect. So when I was giving interview, so I talked a lot about sustainability. I used various terms and what's the current scenario is, why are we facing the challenges and all that. It makes the recruiter feel that I am a relatable candidate. I understand the company's goal, I understand the company's vision. I think that's very important when you are interviewing. So LinkedIn is the one thing that everyone should have very decent profile on LinkedIn when you are looking for a job in Sweden. I think second very important platform is Glassdoor. Glassdoor gives you salary range also. Like if I'm interviewing, if I'm going for a position of a buyer, so Glassdoor will give me an salary range, that how much salary you should quote if a recruiter is asking your expectation. Second, it also gives you a question bank. Like if you are going for the interview of a software engineer, so on the Glassdoor you can search software engineer location Sweden, so it will give you the expected questions or the very recent frequently asked question for this position in Sweden. So you can be prepared, you can keep your examples and your answers ready for those positions. And Glassdoor also gives you company's review, what kind of company it is, what's the work culture, what people talk about it. I think Glassdoor is a very useful platform that everybody should go through before going for the interview. The third platform I want to discuss about is Smart Recruiter. I think it's very less known, but it helped me with my personal experience. The very beautiful thing about Smart Recruiter is it gives you status, it gives you progress report of your job application. Suppose I have applied it today, so if a recruiter has reviewed my resume, so the Smart Recruiters, the platform shows me that your profile is in review. If I get an interview call, so the platform shows me that my application is at the interview stage. And suppose if the recruiter has reviewed my resume and he or she didn't like, Smart Recruiter again gives me a rejection report. So I think I know what's happening with my job application, not like other platform where I keep on applying and I don't know that recruiter has actually seen my resume or not. So I think Smart Recruiter gives me access to that. The next platform I want to discuss about is Jobspring. So this doesn't give you the job opportunity exactly. This gives you an opportunity to do an internship. So what happens in Europe or Sweden is people actually, if people don't get a job, so they try to do internship with organizations, and through that internship they try to land up to a job. So this platform, the Jobspring, gives you an opportunity to do internship with various organizations, and eventually you can land up to a job. I think I love this idea about getting an opportunity to do an internship, especially for those who are newly graduates. If you don't find a job, you can do an internship and you can land up to your job. And this platform especially helps to non-EU citizens. So if you are not getting a job, I must say please look for this platform. The lastly is company's profile. If you know about the company and the company's website and all that, so you can go on the company's profile and company's website, and you can look for the recent openings and opportunities. and you can apply over there. And also at the in various organizations, a company gives you the HR's email ID, so you can directly draft a mail to them. You can also approach them through LinkedIn. I think that's a amazing thing to do when you are looking for the job. Now I want to give you a few tips when you are applying for jobs. This helped me a lot, and I'm sure this will also help you. First, when you're making your resume, please make sure that you do not draft your resume more than 2 pages. 2 pages is also too much. Just try to make it as simple and as small and as brief as it can be. Second is, if you know the recruiter's name or his email ID, please do not hesitate to approach him either on LinkedIn or through the email ID. Just get in touch with them. It's very common that people here get in touch with, it doesn't matter if it's CEO or he's HR or a manager or what position he or she holds. Please do not hesitate to get in touch with them. Try to match the words in your resume what is given in job description. Try to use the same words in your interview also. Like suppose I coordinate with different departments in my organization, and in the job description it is given as collaborating with different business partners. So I will try to use the same word as collaborating with different business partners in my resume, and I will try to use the same word in interview also. If you do that, that makes you more relatable, so try to do that. Don't be very industry specific or specific to your profile. Just be little open to other organizations, other industries, other positions. Like I work as legal specialist. I have no background in legal, but just the thing is, you have to convince the recruiter that you can do this and you have the capability. You can learn faster, quicker. At least 50% of your profile matches to the recruiter's requirement. That's also enough. Please go ahead with that. Do not hesitate to apply for that job. Gap on the resume doesn't matter. If you have any kind of gap on your resume, it's okay. People do not bother. You shouldn't be bothered about it. In none of my interviews anybody has asked why there is a gap on my resume. I didn't work for almost 1.5 years in between, so but nobody asked me why there is a gap. And finally, if somebody asked, you can tell them that you were working on yourself, you were developing your skills and something like that, and that's good enough. It doesn't matter. So be confident about yourself, and it's okay to have gap. Please learn the language. There are so many employers and organizations who look for candidates who can speak Swedish. If you can speak Swedish and English, so your chances of getting job increases. So please learn the language. It is very important if you are looking for a job in Sweden. Example for each and every case. If I say I'm good at inventory management, give an example that how did you manage the inventory. If you say you are good at logistics, so give an example that what did you do. If you say that you are very innovative, so give an example that what did you do that proves that you are very innovative. So I think keep an example ready for each and every situation, for every quality skills that you have mentioned on your resume. Be thorough with that, because people look for examples a lot. If you do not quote any examples, so they say that you have quoted this quality or this skills, but you didn't give an example. Like I got a feedback from an organization where I gave my skill set, my strength as analytical skills, but I didn't give an example. So I got a feedback that I understand your skill is this, but we didn't see an suitable example. So make sure that you give an example for each and everything, whatever you're quoting, whatever you are saying in the interview. The lastly and wonderful thing I love about European job market is they give you feedback. If I do not get selected to any positions, I get a feedback from the organization, and it's very wonderful, and it's very important that you take those feedback positively and you try to develop those skills, and you move forward for the next job. And finally guys, I would say thank you so much for watching till here, and please be patient. You will get a job. Just enjoy the process, try to learn as much as possible, and best of luck for your job hunting.